You ever wake up one morning and realize your gate is smarter than half the people running your neighborhood? Yeah, that happened to me. Not kidding. It all started with a low, ominous hum and ended with the kind of drama you'd swear only happens on reality TV. Let me back up a second, because if you'd told me 2 years ago that a simple black iron gate would turn me into public enemy #1 at Lavender Bluffs, I'd have laughed you right off my front porch. So it was another quiet morning, at least until I found a brick on my lawn, just missing my favorite Japanese maple, with a note duct taped to it that screamed, "Community greater than privacy." Not exactly what you want to see before your first cup of coffee, right? But that wasn't the kicker. The real treat was waking up, robe and all, to find a handmade sign taped to my humming gate. "Take it down or we will." HOA. Nothing says welcome to the neighborhood like a threat written in Sharpie. Now I moved to Lavender Bluffs for one reason: peace. I'm Clayton Greer, 42, happily semi-retired after years grinding out tech manuals for companies that don't even exist anymore. I bought a corner lot for the privacy, just me, my bonsai trees, and the music of birds, not people. The house is nothing fancy, just 2 stories with a yard full of rotating flower beds and a driveway sloping down to a street nobody cares about. My kind of paradise, until I installed that gate. I swear it wasn't meant to send a message. It matched the house, it kept the Amazon drivers from using my rose bushes for target practice, and it let me drink my coffee in peace without finding half the neighborhood's lost pets on my porch. But for Wanda Culpepper, that gate was the first domino. Let me paint a picture of Wanda for you: 58, stuck in the 90s, pastel blazer for every day of the week, and hair so shellacked you could bounce a nickel off it. She's the HOA president, self-appointed ambassador of accessibility. I'm not kidding. She gave herself the title after someone at a meeting hinted the HOA might be overreaching. For Wanda, boundaries are a suggestion and privacy is a crime against humanity. Her latest crusade. She wanted to build pedestrian walkthroughs across every yard on the edge of the neighborhood, basically carving a sidewalk straight through my living room if she could. Never mind that the actual legal easements ended at the street. Wanda figured law is what you make it if you wear enough pastel. So I wake up to a 5:43 a.m. email concerning visual harmony disruption. I could hear her voice all sugar and steel as she explained my barrier was unapproved and could I please fill out a form for fence-like structures. Now, I'd already checked with my lawyer, gates weren't even listed in the bylaws. But Wanda's not one to let reality get in the way of a crusade. I ignored it. Mistake number 1, because 3 days later there's another email, 4:30 a.m. Reminder fences over 48 inches require HOA blessing. My gate is 47 3/4. Not a fence. But now she's quoting anonymous neighbors. You ever notice how HOA presidents always have sources who sound suspiciously like themselves? Then comes the kicker. Saturday night, Clayton, sweetie, what are you hiding? If you want to get my blood pressure up, call me sweetie while threatening legal action. She's worried I'm isolating myself and wants me on the board meeting agenda. Never mind, I'd rather get a root canal than attend one. And just like that, the weekly Wanda parade began. Her a handful of followers, matching visors, blocking my driveway every Monday, holding impromptu lectures about barrier mentality. You can't make this up. One neighbor, Barbara, agreed it seemed unfriendly, never met her in my life. Another was sketching my gate like he was prepping evidence for a crime scene. Then comes the Latin chanting complaint. Yeah, you heard me. A deputy shows up, trying not to laugh, telling me someone claimed my gate chanted in Latin at night. Wanda had called 3 times, even tried to play a recording, but shocker, it was at a frequency her phone couldn't capture. Turns out she didn't bother masking her callback number. Whoops. Things get weirder. A newsletter appears with a photoshopped picture of my gate, topped with barbed wire and drones, like I'm running Guantanamo on half an acre. The next day, my neighbor Tom stops by. He's quiet, smart, a retired engineer, and brings a heads up buried in the newsletter. is a proposed amendment. If passed, the HOA could force any barrier down retroactive or not. She'd already been knocking doors selling folks on this pathway vision. Half the people eating it up don't even live near the perimeter. You'd think people would see through it, but Wanda's a pro at rallying the troops. The next stroll by is bigger, complete with a poster board comparing my aggressive gait to other open-friendly driveways. When one young mom asks if I have the right to a gate, Wanda's face freezes. Rights are fine, but responsibilities to the community matter more. She lectures, jotting down the mom's name for good measure. That's when I doubled down, installed more cameras, motion sensors, the works. The harassment ramped up flags spelling community means sharing, not hiding behind gates, dead spots all over my grass. A certified violation notice citing bylaw sections about mailboxes. I send everything to my lawyer, who all but cackles at their absurdity. If they follow through, it's a harassment suit waiting to happen. And then the showdown. Wanda shows up with 2 board members, a locksmith, a contractor who's just a handyman, and demands the gate comes down. I'm filming. The locksmith wants nothing to do with it. The handyman won't touch a thing without a court order. And Wanda, losing her composure, starts yanking on my control box. That's when the silent alarm goes off. 4 police cars roll up Wanda's still-pulling blazer, rumpled manicured nails a mess. She tries to spin the officers with her community standard spiel, but when she can't produce any real authority, the officers tell her to step away now. "Would you like to press charges, Mr. Greer?" the officer asks loud enough for the whole crowd to hear. I say I'll consult my attorney. Wanda's given a formal trespassing warning. One step on my property again and she's done. The neighborhood Facebook group blows up Janet and Harold. The board members both resign that night, and suddenly all the skeletons come tumbling out. Wanda's been spending HOA funds on visors, protest gear, even a spa day retreat. My attorney Richard starts building a case: harassment, defamation, vandalism, and more. The HOA's new lawyer meets me on my porch trying to settle. I tell her nicely that the culture let Wanda run wild. Eventually, they agree to pay my legal bills, reimburse me for security upgrades, and file an easement stating my driveway is forever private. But Wanda isn't done. She rallies a freedom walk. It's her cousin, who's not a real lawyer, and 3 people who look like they want to disappear. The news shows up. She melts down on live TV, accuses me of running a criminal operation, screams about conspiracies. That night, the news drops the bomb. Wanda spent $12,000 in HOA funds on herself. The special election is a landslide. Wanda's out. The whole board's replaced. First act: all her violations tossed, financials audited, and her spending referred to the DA. Wanda tries to storm out, trips over her own sign, and shouts that I destroyed the neighborhood. A month later, she's in court, breaking and entering, vandalism, theft by deception, filing false reports. The prosecutor brings receipts. My security footage, her own emails, neighbor testimony. Even past complaints from old neighborhoods. She gets probation, community service, and 18 months in minimum security prison, has to sell her house to pay the judgment on my civil suit. As the judge reads the sentence, Wanda howls about how gates will be the downfall of civilization. I mean, you can't script this stuff. And so here I am, gates still standing, roses growing back, neighbors friendlier than ever, HOA run by folks who understand property rights. Funny thing is, Wanda wanted a unified neighborhood. She got it, just not with her in charge. Sometimes the best fences really do make the best neighbors, at least when you've got the receipts and a security camera to prove it. So, what do you think was I right to fight back, or did the gate go too far? Drop a comment, share your HOA nightmares, and let's hear your take on where you draw the line between community and privacy. Maybe next time I'll tell you about the time someone tried to ban my bonsai trees. But that's a story for another morning.